Hello students. So in the last class we have started the chapter ionic bond. So in the let's going further in the chapter of ionic bonds. Let us first understand some terms and definitions, or you can say some concepts regarding ionic bonds, which will help us in understanding ionic bonds more better. So the first one is ionization enthalpy, and the second one is electron gain enthalpy. So what do you mean by the term enthalpy? If you can remember your class 9 or 10 chapters where we have studied about the internal energy or the heat energy of the system in thermodynamics, don't worry if you haven't studied in the 9 or 10th class. There is a separate chapter in physics in 11th class and also in chemistry that we will study. But for now, just understand that the word enthalpy means it represents the internal energy, or you can say precisely internal heat energy of the system. So what do you mean by system? A system is where a chemical reaction takes place. Means we are altering or we are changing an atom or molecule to our desired state or to the new stage. So that is a system. So whatever energy involved in that system is called enthalpy. So ionization enthalpy and electron gain enthalpy. So as you can understand from the name, electron gain enthalpy means when an atom is gaining an electron, or when a system of molecules are gaining electron, that is called electron gain enthalpy. Here is an atom B that is in the gaseous state. Whenever we are talking about ionic bonds, we will talk in terms of gaseous state because it is easier in the gaseous state to lose an electron or gain an electron. It is quite difficult in case of solid state or liquid state. So in case of this atom B, it is gaining one electron. So the energy in the system will be called electron gain enthalpy. So now the B negative, so the ion formed is a negative ion of atom B. In this initial stage, the atom B was in ground state or in neutral state, but we are giving one electron to the atom B. So the energy change in the system is called electron gain enthalpy. Similarly, ionization enthalpy means if we are removing one electron, this is an atom A in gaseous state, so we are removing one electron from the atom. Here we are adding one electron and here we are removing one electron. So the ion form is a positive ion. Okay, positive ion is called cation, 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 and negative ions are called anions. So in electron gain enthalpy, anions are formed, and in ionization enthalpy, cations are formed. So this is a general notation of denoting a positive ion or negative ion. Positive ion are called cation, negative ion are called anions. So ionization enthalpy is related to gain of electron, removal of electron means formation of cation, and electron gain enthalpy is related to gaining of electron, that is formation of anion. So now we are talking about the internal heat of the system or heat energy of the system. So what do you think will happen if we are removing one electron? The process is always endothermic. Endothermic means we are giving heat or we are giving energy to the system. You must have heard these terms endothermic and exothermic. One second. Endothermic and exothermic. Exothermic means there is a release of energy or release of heat energy, and endothermic means there is a loss of energy, means we need to give energy to the system. What happens is when we are removing an electron, we are actually providing energy to the atom to remove that electron because the atom is already in the ground state, it is in the neutral state. So we need to give external energy to the atom so that we can remove that electron from the atom. So an ionization enthalpy is always an endothermic process, or you can say the formation of cation is always an endothermic process. Similarly, the process of gaining one electron may be exothermic or may be endothermic. The process of removal of electron is always endothermic, means always we have to give energy to remove one electron from an atom. But when we are giving one electron to the atom may release energy or may gain energy. So that is the third point, that ionization enthalpy is always an endothermic process and electron gain enthalpy is always an exothermic process. If you couldn't understand these terms, I will explain in the class the endothermic and exothermic in more detail. So now let's see some examples of ionization enthalpy or electron gain enthalpy, or we can say you will understand better what is an endothermic process or exothermic, or why we need to give energy to remove one electron, and why there may be need of giving energy or taking energy in case of giving electron or electron gain enthalpy. So let's start with some example of ionization enthalpy. See, in the case of hydrogen gas, it has only one electron. So if we want to remove one electron from hydrogen gas, then we have to give energy to the hydrogen gas. Giving energy means we can heat up the atom, or we can give temperature to the atom so that the electron gains sufficient energy to jump from the outer shell. This is the outer shell. Okay. Remember, it is much more easier to remove electron from the outer shell than from the inner shell, because in the inner shell there will be an attraction from the nucleus, which is a positively charged particle. But when it comes to the outer shell electron, because there is an inner layer, or there is a layer of electron between the outer shell and the nucleus, the attraction power between the outer shell electron and the nucleus is relatively lower than the inner shell electron, or between the inner shell electron or nucleus that is positively charged. So I can say that ionization enthalpy is much larger in case of inner shell electron, and it is smaller in case of outer shell electron. Means we have to do less work, or we have to give less energy in case of outer shell electron. So in case of hydrogen, if we are talking about removing the electron from the hydrogen atom, then we are making the hydrogen atom electronless, because hydrogen has only one electron. So we need to give some energy to remove that electron. Okay, and remember always one more thing, giving energy to a system means making the system unstable. Okay, whenever a system loses energy, it is in called a stable state. When you are sleeping in your when you are sleeping at night, or when you sleep at tired, when you get tired, you sleep because you have lost energy, and now you are stable, you are doing no work. But if you are running or jogging or doing some work or playing sports, you are using more energy and you are unstable, you are moving from one end to another end. But when you are sleeping, you are in a stable position and you are losing energy. So that is the same case in when we are talking about electrons or any other element. So when we are giving energy means making the system more unstable. So hydrogen was in ground state, somehow stable condition, but if we are removing the electron, then it is an unstable condition. And how do we get to know that it is an unstable condition? Because we need to give energy to remove that electron. Later I'll explain how that plays in case of electron gain enthalpy. So now let's talk about one more atom, that is chlorine. So chlorine in gaseous state, if chlorine gains one more electron, then it will be a negatively charged atom. It will be an anion. So what happens that in the outer shell of chlorine there is 7 electron. In chlorine there are total 17 electrons. So if I write the electronic configuration for the chlorine, it will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. So there is 2 to 4 plus 6, 10. So there are now 7 electrons left. So 2 will go to the 3s2 and 5 electron will go to the 3d5. So there are 7 electrons in the outer shell of chlorine. So what happens that if chlorine gains one more electron, it will complete the octet. Okay. Octet will complete. So if chlorine gets one more electron, then the octet will be complete and the atom more stability. So more stability means it will lose energy. Whenever an atom is going into stability means it is losing energy, and when an atom is getting unstable means it's gaining energy. So there will be a release of energy from the chlorine atom if one electron is given to the chlorine, and to remove one electron from hydrogen we have to give energy to the hydrogen. So here the hydrogen atom needs energy and here chlorine atom is releasing the energy. So the compound HCl can thus be formed if we add the hydrogen and chlorine. This is positive, this is negative. The process of removing electron from hydrogen is needed energy, and the process of gaining electron in chlorine is releasing energy. So both are complementing each other. Here the energy is releasing and here we need energy. So this is an endothermic process clearly because we give energy, and this is clearly an exothermic process because there is a release in energy. So as I said earlier, ionization enthalpy is purely an endothermic process, and electron gain enthalpy may be an exothermic or may be an endothermic. So this is an example of exothermic. Now we'll see another example of endothermic process in electron gain enthalpy.